Hello, if you're watching this video, you have obviously gone into our website where we were trying to create an open educational resource. The purpose of this website is to get some ideas around cross-curricular inquiry-based learning from our school out to the general population. So I think the first question has to be, why are we creating an OER?
Well, I think our staff provides a variety of different learning experiences, and being able to share what we're going to be working on together as well as what has already been done in our school is a great resource for others to see. And I'm proud of the experiences our students have had in our school. And I think that the teachers have done some amazing learning experiences for students, but we really want to push cross-curricular development.
Yeah, we've also had a lot of luck, facilitating student engagement over the last few years, working together as a staff. So it's really nice to take what we've learned about how to improve student engagement and share it with, maybe other educators that are out and about that are interested in learning that.
As well as learn from other educators that have been already doing this too.
For sure.
Absolutely. I think the ideal goal is that if more schools do this and more educators do this, there's just more information for us to get going and get started on different projects and stuff, which I think would be fantastic. So why are we engaging as a school, focusing more on inquiry and cross-curricular?
Well, I find with inquiry and cross-curricular design, it enables us as educators to reach students of a variety of different learning backgrounds and skills, as well as keep their interest up.
Yeah, students are, extremely creative, right? And when they're given the opportunity to pursue something of their own passion, like we talked about, it really increases student motivation, but it also really hits on those higher order thinking, those transferable skills such as critical thinking.
A point that's really important to me is that we work towards creating students who can work as a team, who know how to share responsibility and to take part in a role as a team and try to make education less I guess you would say oppositional, or who's trying to win but trying to work together.
Yeah, there's so much more out there than just rote memory, right? We really want students to engage with their own learning and come out feeling like they've advanced in so many areas rather than just perhaps the specific area that they're looking at studying.
And the skills that they learn from inquiring and cross-curricular design, they're more than just skills that they can use in the classroom. They can definitely carry them on to other classes, but use outside of school, in the workplace or extracurricular.
Definitely.
So before we get going into future projects and things we're hoping on doing, I think it's important that Gary, Deirdre, and I explain who we are. So what do we do in this school and what are our roles? So you can see how we came together for our future projects. So Deirdre?
Currently, I am a social studies teacher. I also am a careers teacher and careers coordinator. And that's it. Gary?
Yeah, I'm the industrial arts teacher, so I worked a lot with Deirdre in resource acquisition for the shops. And since I do carpentry, metal fabrication, and automotive, I've worked a lot with Andrew because we share some of the same sort of software and the CNC router, the computer numerically controlled router. We've sort of learned together on that, and that was perhaps our first very large cross-curricular thing that we've worked on together.
Absolutely. So I am the computer sciences teacher, the computer information teacher. I use a various amount of software in my classroom. But the one thing that Gary and I are talking about, so Gary's talking about a CNC router. Well, I use a program called Aspire to design the things that he prints out. So there will be some examples of those things on the website that you can go look at, but it's quite an interesting thing to watch students have choice in a classroom and go on the software that moves them and then just taking with their choice and making it work for your assignment instead of making their choice for your assignment, if that makes sense. It allows them to be who they are and express themselves the way they want to. So now that we've gotten into that, let's talk about a future project that we're working on. So it's around truth and reconciliation. And Deirdre, do you want to get started?
Sure. So my Social Studies 10 class will be doing a project on truth and reconciliation. they will be, once they finish an inquiry project, they'll be able to choose a design or a word that really resonates with them about what they've learned in regards to truth and reconciliation. They will then take their design and go over to the computer lab where they will work with Andrew to finish on the second step of our project.
Yeah, so once they're over in my computer lab, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a way in which we can express that. So ultimately it has to be expressible through Aspire, because that is the program that we're going to use to create the designs for Gary's section of the project. But that doesn't mean they can't use other softwares to design it before we put it into Aspire. So it's going to look very different, I have a feeling. I have no idea what it's going to look like because it's an inquiry project and you don't know what you're going to look like, and that's the most exciting part, if you ask me. But there's so many different softwares they can use to come up with their design for their word, their picture, their phrase, whatever it is. And then we're going to put it on Aspire, and we are going to set the G code so it can work in Gary's CNC. And then they're going to go down to Gary's class and get it ready to go. So Gary, what are you going to be doing?
Yeah, so after they've learned graphic design, essentially with Andrew, they'll be down and they're basically going to bring it on a USB stick, and it's just going to be a piece of G code. So they're going to learn basically how to use that G code and how to interface that with the CNC, the computer numerically controlled routing machine. And then they'll basically have a blank canvas, a piece of wood, which they will put the G code into the machine, and then the machine will carve out for them. So once they've learned how that all works, they will take that, they will take their carved product, and they'll learn some basic finishing skills on how to, sand it, clean it up, paint it, or urethane it, depending on what they choose to do. And then they will have their finished piece of the puzzle, as it would. And Deirdre will maybe let us know how it's finished off then.
Okay, so each student will have a piece of wood and it will all join together at the end. And our hope is to create sort of a welcoming wall, if you will, rather kind of like a doormat that says welcome on it. And it expresses how our school supports and welcomes learning about truth and reconciliation, not just in our school, but in our community, with the hope that elders will continue to come to our school, feel recognized, and know that we as a school community are working together to learn from each other.
So thank you for watching our introduction to our website, our OER. Hopefully you've enjoyed our open education resource, and it's something we plan on updating and improving on as we move forward. This may inspire you as an educator or anybody in a field of any knowledge to share what you know and how we as educators can move that forward to inform our practice. So it's something we're really interested in getting started with, and the journey starts now.
And if you have any questions or comments, please click on the Contact Us tab and write us a quick email letting us know what you think, or if you have any suggestions for us, we'd be happy to hear from you.
Thank you.
Bye.